there was a lot of things that kept coming up all the way down to the pattern of what I used to win that event. There was a lot of videos, examples, those reed heads kept showing up. So then it was a visual target that I actually understood when I went to Florida that I knew to include in my rotation of what I was sampling during practice.
Right, right. That's excellent. Well, it's funny you mentioned JT because Brian New, and you guys got to check this out. It's a blind fishing seminar. As a matter of fact, might not be able to check it out yet. I don't know that we released it yet, but it's coming soon. But Brian New learned from JT Kenny and his seminars on how to fish pads and how to fish blind fish, bedding fish that you can't see. And he went on to win down at the St. Johns River using those exact techniques from JT Kenny.
Absolutely.
So,
I've listened to those same videos. I know exactly what you're talking about. Every time I go to Florida, like I said, those are my rotations of different videos that I listen to. Sometimes, some of them I've listened to 3 or 4 times through the years, you know.
And man, I get it. And I have the same, because I have listened to them all. We've got a library of over 800 seminars, and you know, there's, you think, oh, Pete, you've heard it all. I'm like, no. Like, fishing is ever evolving. We're constantly figuring new stuff out, from glide bait fishing to Ned rigs to different types of tournament strategies, forward-facing sonar. So our sport is ever evolving. But I call them, you call them grains of sand, I call them blow your hair back moments. Right. Like, didn't think of that. Like a big swim bait, got to fish it uphill. A lot of times you trigger the big bites. Those were some eye openers. But John Sokup I just interviewed here, and that's going to be released soon. And he talked about practice, and this was a blowback. It's awesome. It's like, don't ever take practice out of your tournament. And right, we practice, and then we have a tendency to fish what we found at practice. And the key is, like, never stop learning, never stop developing that pattern. And you got to fish new water every day to win. You got to constantly be following those fish and not forget to practice during competition. Those little tidbits are so important to helping you get over that hump. Because
sometimes you don't get it the first time you listen to it. I mean, sometimes it takes a couple of times and then you'll pick something up. Or maybe you don't have a full understanding with where you are at that point in time with your fishing knowledge and history or background. And then a year or two later, you hear the exact same thing again, and then you're like, oh, I totally get what he's saying now. I've seen that before, and that makes perfect sense.
Right. Because, you didn't have that experience before, but now it resonates with you, and it's incredible. Well, what tournaments do you have coming up next?
I believe my next event will be in July on Lake Oneida.
Okay.
I believe you'll probably be there.
I will be there. Yeah. I will be there, and I gotta give you a recommendation.
Okay.
Greg Hackney's video on flipping for smallmouth, which he crafted after his Lake Oneida experiences about how to power fish for him. Here's some highlights, really cool stuff. Like he talks about, of course, the majority of the fish are not what he's doing, right? He's up just punching that milfoil grass, but the fish that he's catching are crawfish eaters, and they weigh, on average, just a little bit more than the bait chasers.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.